Good afternoon, y'all. I'm Marlene Bush, and this is Stitching by the Lake, and I am in Hot Springs, Arkansas. If you are someone who's been watching my videos for a long time, then I'm so thrilled that you are back. Many of you, most of you, I have become friends with, and we get to chat occasionally through email and text and that sort of thing, and so I'm always glad to catch up. And if you are new, and many of you are new, Carol Saltbox Stitcher was kind enough to talk about me on not her last video, but the one before that. So I gained a bunch of new subscribers, and I thank you for that. It's always exciting to get new people on here, and I don't know why. It just is. It's just exciting. So thank you for coming, and I'm glad to have you all here. Since I was on here last time, I've had several things happen. I had a family gathering here. All of my children, I have 3 children and 4 grandchildren, and no, that's wrong, 4 great-grandchildren and 8 grandchildren. And all the spouses and significant others came for a Saturday end of summer gathering. We were missing one granddaughter who had to work, and I hated that. My children are all educators, and some of the spouses and significant others are also educators. And so when we get to the end of July, that's the end of summer for us. Jerry and I were both educators, and so we're all very used to that, and that's typically when we kind of try to gather together as a family, and because we know things are going to get hectic from here on. The first few weeks of preparing for school and starting school, and my son is a football coach, so they started the first part of August, if not before, and so we don't get to see each other quite as often after that. It was a great day. We had an absolute phenomenal time. Low-key, it was hot. It was very hot outside. We've had a lot of very hot days this summer. In fact, we have a hot weather warning alert kind of thing going on today because the heat index is going to be quite high. But when we get to this point and we're looking at school starting, I always think it's almost time for fall to get here. Once school starts, then it's kind of time for fall. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple of fall pieces. I think I've shown them before, but that's okay. I'll show them again. I know that I always like looking at them, and I brought them out especially for now to make me think about cooler days. The second thing that happened is that shortly after our family gathering, Jerry got sick with COVID. Now, nobody else in the family was sick. He started coughing, running a low-grade fever. I really thought it was a summer cold. I wasn't too concerned until I got it. And then I knew that he gave it to me and it was all his fault. That's what I told him. It was all his fault. We both had it. He had a little bit lighter case than me, maybe. Don't ask him because he wouldn't say that. And his lasted not quite as long as mine. The aftermath of that is that we are both still coughing. I hope I don't start during this video, but I did bring something to drink just in case. And we do have some residual fatigue that goes with that. The coughing just wears you out. And mine, he coughed a lot, but not quite like I did. I had terrible coughing fits, I called them. They just went on and on forever. But good to say we're both better. And we'll probably stay home from church one more Sunday just because of the cough. We're not contagious anymore, but I know that hearing people cough makes other people uncomfortable. It does me. So I think we'll probably stay home tomorrow. Today is Saturday, by the way. It is August the 12th. And then after that, we should be good to go. And the third thing that happened is that I have made a decision that I didn't think I was going to make. I didn't think this was going to happen for me. if you've been watching, you know that I have a really bad hip. I don't need a hip replacement. I have bursitis. And y'all, if you've never had bursitis, it's awful. It's really painful. And I have lower back issues. And I thought, oh, I just can't do this. I just can't do it. But then I figured out that I could get a steroid shot and be better for a time, 6 or 7 weeks or something like that. And so I've had one, and it worked for me, and I'm going to have another one tomorrow morning. I'm excited about that. So I took the plunge and said, yes, you can do this, Marlene. And I am going to the attic for summer school. Now, I want to do a happy dance, except I don't want to do a happy dance because I'm afraid I'll do something to that hip. At this age, you have to be really careful not to do something to something in your body. Most of you know that I'm 76. I have a birthday coming in about 6 weeks, and I'll be 77. So anyway, I am going to the attic, and I'm so excited. I didn't think I would ever get to go. And so I'm leaving on Wednesday, flying out Wednesday afternoon, and I'll get there Wednesday evening. And the summer school doesn't start officially till Friday night. So I gave myself that time so that I could go to the shop and spend some hours there looking and getting to meet some friends and talk to people. I've got several friends who are going, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And so I know it's going to be absolutely awesome. Y'all say a little prayer for me that everything goes well. I haven't flown in, I think, 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's been at least 10, if not 11. The last time I flew, I swore I was never going to do it again. At least not unless I was in first class. And the reason for that is because I got stuck in a middle seat on a 5-row, and it was an overseas flight. It was miserable. Anyway, this is a much shorter distance for me, and it's going to be manageable, so I'm excited about that. But y'all just say a little prayer that things go well, and I don't know, do something stupid, whatever. So, I have not, because of COVID and the family gathering and all that stuff, I really have not stitched very much at all. I have done a little bit, and I'm going to show you the 2 things I've worked on. I have a couple of more travel things to show you and talk about. And then I thought, I really need to make a decision about my next new start. I have, I think, about 50 kitted up projects that have not yet been started. And I have 32 whips. So sometime in the next month, I'm going to start at least 2 more. Now, I'm going to reserve one of those at least for something I pick up at the attic, and I have no idea what that's going to be. But I brought, I don't know, maybe 10, maybe more, maybe 15, to show you and to talk about and to see if any of you want to vote on which one I need to pick up next. First, I'm going to show you, last time I was on here, I showed you my little jewelry box that I had put together as a travel box. Now, I have a big jewelry box, I don't know, this big, that I keep beside my stitching chair, and it's just full of all kinds of stuff that I need when I'm stitching. But I didn't want to carry that, and I didn't need all of that stuff that's in there for a travel thing. So, I got a small one, and I got it off of Amazon, y'all. I don't remember which one, which I looked at a bunch of them. My friend Kim and I looked at several of them together. This is what I chose. It's got a quilted top. These letters, Kim gave me on a little tag that she gave me, and I just pulled them off and stuck them right there on the top. And this is what I have in it. I'm going to try to get a little higher because someone told me I didn't have it up high enough last time. Up here where, I guess necklaces hang up there maybe, I have put a couple of pair of scissors, my tweezers, and my 3-inch square measurement card. This one comes from the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, which is my favorite shop of all time. And then over here on this side, I put a little tiny pincushion. This one was made by a friend of mine a year or so ago. She gave me a little basket that had a bunch of these in it. This is a tin. I don't know where I got that. Somewhere. You know how you pick up stuff like that. And in it, I have a couple of needle threaders and some of the little red clips that you can clip onto your fabric to hold it up. On this side, I have the screwdriver that I have to have for my hook. I have this. I don't know what this is called. I showed it to you last time. I bought this in Tulsa at the Silver Needle, and it's got a needle threader on it, and then that little hook that you can, when you're playing chicken with your threads, you can pull that little tiny bit through. I took out whatever was right here and covered this with a piece of fabric. I found this and I just loved it. I have several of these. I found it in an antique store. Someone took a paint stick, cut it into pieces. Some gentleman, I'm sure, did this for his wife to make bobbins. He cut a little slit for the ends and curved it out a little bit, and he made as many as he could out of a paint stick, I guess. So I have 6 or 8, and I just love it for the thought of it, that some man did that for his wife. Maybe the wife did it herself, but I like to think a gentleman did it. And then I have this little scissor fob that I love. It's one of my very favorites too. But I already had fobs on my scissors, so I didn't really have a place to put that. And here in the middle, this is where I think earrings were. I put a couple of needle minders, my chicken, my big rooster. And when you pull this off, the magnets on the back of it pick up whatever's a magnet on the other side. I'll show you what's in there. I have to put it down to do that. This is my needle book. It's one I stitched quite some time ago. I don't remember, 3 or 4 years at least. And I have several different kinds of needles in there. And then I have this, which turns a screw on one of my hoops, and a little seam ripper. Now, the only other thing that I really need are my readers. And they won't fit in here. But I do have them. What I chose to do, I think I told y'all last time that I have readers. I typically wear a 4.5, and that works for me for a 28 count fabric or a 32 count fabric. But if I'm going above a 36 for a 40, and I even have 156 that I have started. No, I haven't started it. I got it out and kitted it up. I bought readers, and this is, you can see, that's a 5.5. I bought readers in 4.5, 5.0, 5.5, and 6.0. And I keep them in this little zipper bag, which is perfect for it. This one is from So Much to Love. And I keep that out beside my chair. And so if I need to, I can pull any one of those out to look up close at something. They're kind of like magnifying glasses, really. I mean, like not using the magnifying part of your light. I do also have this in the 5 and the 7, which I will take with me, because if I'm stitching on a 28, I can wear my contacts and use this, and I can still see. My contacts are not great. I've been trying to get into the eye doctor since May. I now have an appointment in October because my appointment was last week when I was in the middle of COVID and I had to cancel. And what else is different? Oh, I'm going to take 2 lights with me this time. My favorite light, I've shown you before, either will clamp onto the table or it has a stand. But the thing that's different is I found that this knitting needle case will hold it. Oh, this is my friend Shauna gave me a bag, a Crown Royal bag, to put over the magnifier when I'm not using it. I love that. I love Shauna. And so that's how that's going to travel, and it's going to go into my suitcase. But I also am going to take in my carry-on the Fold-E-Go light, which you can see right there. I'm charging right now. And it will go. I'm going to take a little bag like this. This was also a gift from Kim. And I'm just going to have in there a small pair of scissors and some needles and the thread for whatever I'm stitching on. I have not stitched without a hook in a very long time, so I'm not quite sure. I need to practice that before I leave, I guess, to see if I can actually stitch on the plane without my stand. I know I can stitch on a hook, but can I do it without a stand? I don't know. We'll see. Another thing that I got to take with me this time when I travel is I ordered some new business cards. Stitching by the Lake. Oh, there's a glare. I'm so sorry. This is a view from my back deck out onto the lake. This is Lake Catherine in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And on the back, I put my name, my Flosstube name, which is Stitching by the Lake, my Instagram name, which is mbushretired, and then my email name. So I'm taking some of those with me to hand out. Okay, that's all the travel stuff. Now, let's talk about whips. I think I only brought one of them with me. One was Coming to My Garden, which I showed you last time. This one is Joyous Noel. It's a Blackbird Designs. And these are the flosses for this one. I actually started this one last summer. And this is how far I have gotten. I think you should be able to see that pretty good. I'm not halfway yet. This fabric is a 32 count cream and sugar. I don't know who the designer is, but that's what it is. Cream and sugar. All right. Now, let's move on to some whips. No, I'm sorry. I just said whips. Y'all, I'm so excited about the attic that my brain is going in 40 different directions. Let's look at some of my kits that I have not yet started. Several years ago, I can't remember how many, but some friends came to Little Rock and we rented an Airbnb and spent the weekend together and went to the Shepherd's Needle. And several of us bought this pattern. This is Madre Terra by Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. At Shepherd's Needle, they have this stitched model. They have models up in several different colors and in several different counts. And it's amazing when it's stitched up. The fabric that I chose was a 28 count tin roof. That's a Weeks Dye Works fabric. And the threads I chose are Gloriana silks. And this is a variegated Falcon Brown is the name of this. It's got some greens in it and some reds and a touch of blue. And that's kind of hard to see. I know, but it's beautiful, beautiful thread. Okay, that one is not yet started. This pattern came out, doesn't say on here. But that one's going to have some really good memories associated with it, so I'm kind of anxious to get it started. Then, this one. Now, some of these kits may have fabric and no threads. They may have threads and no fabric. But I have things in my stash, and I knew I could pull. These are Little House Needleworks Little Sheep Virtues, and I have stitched 4 or 5 of these. There are 12 or 14 altogether. This one's number 12, and this one is Joyfulness. They all have a sheep on them. I know I have at least 4 in a bow. This one is Love. This one is Peace. This one is Gratitude. Some of these have a little button with them. This one does. This one is Kindness. This one is Patience. And this one is Simplicity. I have some pieces of fabric here. These, I just found some scraps in similar colorways. And they're probably going to be different counts even. This one looks like a 32. This one looks like a 28 maybe. That's a series that I want to complete. And those are the ones that I have not yet done. The ones that I've already done, I have gotten rid of those patterns, given them away, I think. Oh yes, this is a great one. This one is from Silver Creek Samplers. I bought this one at Colorado Cross Stitcher the day she opened her shop in Colorado. My sister and her husband and my husband and I were there on vacation, and Sherry and I went by to see Sherry, who owns that shop. And this was stitched and on her wall, and it's so sweet. I'm going to use DMCs for this, and the fabric is this one, and I have no idea what this is. It is not marked that I can see anywhere. So I don't know, but I thought it was pretty, and I thought it was very close to this pattern. Let me show you. The color is very close to that pattern. So I think it's going to work perfectly. I'm kind of leaning towards this. Well, let me just say this will be one of the top contenders. I don't think this is going to take a great long time to do. It would be a nice little, that might be a nice little one to carry on to the plain. I think it might be a 28 count fabric, which would be easy to see and stitch. So I think I'll lay this on top just in case. Lay it right over there. This one is a kit from Samplers Not Forgotten. It is called Token of Love. That's another sweet one. I don't remember where I got it. Could have been at a retreat, but it has the threads and even the backing fabric on it. That's another one that wouldn't take a great long time to stitch. It does look like the count is, yeah, it's a 36 count putty. That one would probably take me a little bit longer to stitch just because I have a little bit more difficult time with 36 than I do with others. And this one, the reason I haven't started this one, this is a kit, and it's called Measure Twice. It's by Needlework Press, and it's stitched on, well, let me just show you. You stitch the numbers and the marks on there, which is not going to be difficult, except this narrow little fabric. My hands, I think, might have some problems with that. You know, I've had surgery on this hand and I have arthritis in it, so it's a little harder. Does anybody ever put this kind of narrow braid or whatever it is on a hook? Have you ever done that? And if so, does it hold good? Can you stitch well with that? I'd sure love to know. I guess I just need to put it on there and try it. This is, oh, Chessie and me. It's called Harvest Huswife. This would be a good one to start this fall. Love the pumpkins and the little basket. It was a kit, and this was from one of the retreats. The threads came like this on this little card, and the fabric is, let's see, it's not written on there, so I'll have to look on the pattern. Here's the inside of that. Well, goodness. It doesn't tell me what the fabric is, I guess. Oh, yes, Fiber on a Whim. But I don't know what color. I don't see it right there. But I love this. I think it's really sweet. I think it's more stitching than it looks like, which is okay. Do you ever kit things up and then look back at them later and think, when did I do that? Oh, this is from a retreat. Okay. This is the Vanity Sampler from Hello from Liz Matthews, and it is from a retreat. Isn't that gorgeous? The model was stitched on 40 count latte linen from Fiber on a Whim. And they used needlepoint silk to stitch it with. Now, this is the sampler pattern. It is not kitted up. However, she gave us another kit that is where you can take motifs from the big sampler to stitch on smaller. And she gave us fabric for that, and needles and pins and backing and threads and all that stuff. And also, I think this is the wool roving to stuff it with. It looks like these are my later kits rather than older kits. I'm going to show you some more in my next video, and they'll be older. This one is from Barbara Anna, And I have the fabric, but not the threads. This is called The Witch, the Crow, and the Pumpkin. This is another fall one. My plan is to do this coming fall. I just love it. First of all, I love wool. And those wool pennies are right up my alley. This is 32 count natural, it says. And the linen was stained with walnut crystals prior to stitching. So I'll show you the fabric that she included. There you go. This says 32 count parchment is what she used, and then used the walnut. I have a lot of wool, so I'll be able to vary up my wool pennies pretty easily. I do not have the threads for that one yet. I love seasonal stitching, do y'all? I like to stitch fall in the fall and Christmas at Christmas, which sometimes means I get something finished and the season is gone. But that's okay. I can use it the next season. This is also a kit. It's from Rosewood Manor. Karen Kluba designed this one, and it says Let Freedom Ring. Love this one. Love it. I wish I had gotten it done this summer, but I just didn't make it. The fabric that I'm going to use is a 32 count American Chestnut, which is one of my very favorite fabrics. It's actually a little bit, this is looking gray on my computer, but it's really a gold, sort of. And the threads are Red Rocks, Weeks Dye Works, Red Rocks Gunmetal, and linen. Those are the threads. They're not on a ring or anything yet, so they're kind of hard to see, but they're the typical red, white, and blue, not the bright colorway, but the more country, I call it. Oh, Teresa Kogut. I love Teresa Kogut. This is her booklet, Land That I Love. I got this at the Silver Needle when Teresa came for the summer program that they have. And I bought tin roof, and this is a 30 count tin roof. I don't know how big a piece I had to buy, but it looks pretty good size to me. Let me see. This is Teresa is just one of the most genuine, real people. This says finished size is 16.5 by 16 5/8 if you use a 35 count. I don't know what I have there. It's got quite a few colors of thread in it. But oh my goodness, isn't it gorgeous? Oh, that's another one that I need to start pretty quickly. I rewatched video from the attic last night, and Jean said start all the things. Maybe I need to start more than 2. This was a gift from my friend Jen at Jen's Stitching Niche. I love it. Haven't started it yet. This is from Thea Gouverneur. I think maybe that's the Latin name. I'm sure I've told y'all before, but for you new folks, we do have beehives Not very many. We only have 3. 2 of them are very young hives. We only harvested honey this summer from 1, which is our oldest hive. And we got, I believe it was 30 pints. They usually tell you in pounds, maybe. But I'm not a big bee person. My son-in-law keeps them for me. This is one of those that you can get used to be able to get at Hobby Lobby, and it came with Ada. I won't stitch it on the Ada, but it did come with that fabric. Oh, this is another series, y'all. DMCs. This is Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas. And I have all of them and haven't started them. And I got a 32 count raw natural. I bought this from the Shepherd's Needle, and this is what it looks like. Just raw natural. Y'all have all stitched on it probably. You've certainly all seen it. I don't have all of the threads in here. I pulled a few, but I don't see the red, so I probably had a hard time deciding what red and put it off until I was ready to stitch it. I do have another Christmas series from Little House started, and I'm not letting myself start that one until I finish the other one. I don't remember the name of the other one. This is from a magazine that I made a copy of. I don't remember which magazine. And it's called Hattie Macy. Small sampler. It's designed by Audrey Wright, and it says the finish size is 8 by 8 if you use a 30 count. She used a brown hand-dyed linen. I think that raw natural would have been perfect for that, but that is not what I pulled. It uses a variegated thread, and I haven't chosen the thread yet either. This is what I pulled out, and I don't know what this is. Found it in my stash. Thought it looked good. All I wrote on here was the 32 count. But it's browner than it looks in this light. Just a few more. Am I getting long-winded here? Oh, this is another one I really love. Do we say that about all of them? Token of Love. It's a miniature Quaker by Brenda Gervais. I don't have the threads pulled for this one, but that is so sweet. I did choose a 28 count Lugana in mushroom. Should be fairly close. This is Blackbird Designs, Home for the Holidays. The book is called Home for the Holidays, I think. I've got it turned back here. Yeah, Home for the Holidays. And the one that I want to stitch is all of them. All of the above. Especially the stockings. But I did choose this one because it's the title of the book. I guess that's why I chose it. I just thought I was going to work my way through the book, and I hadn't even started. And I did choose this fabric that is a gray. It's called Cedar Plank. It's a lakeside linen. And it is very gray. It's also very wrinkled right now. And this one I've also pulled the threads on. There aren't just a whole lot of them. But they're going to be pretty. They're typical blackbird colors. This one is another blackbird called Early Christmas Morning. I want to do that cover piece right there. The fabric is, I don't know what the fabric is. Let me see. This is what it looks like. Now, I know Ann always puts a label on. A 36 count winter brew. And she went ahead and cut both the pieces for me, the piece for the top and the piece for the side, so that I wouldn't have to measure all those out myself. The service at Shepherd's Needle is awesome. Ann and Sherry are two of my very favorite people. And I did pull some of the threads. I don't know that this is all of them. But again, they're typical blackbird colors, except for maybe that rose color down there. That may be a little bit different. Just 3 more, y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay, I confess, this is not kitted. This is, I really want to stitch these real bad. Liz Matthews. Now, when I first saw the Days of Christmas trees, I thought, well, that's pretty, but I think I can maybe not do that. Until she came to a retreat where I was, and she brought these with her, stitched up, and they were magnificent. This is the first day of Christmas. They are not all out yet. This is the second day. Look at that tree. Oh. This is the third day. This is the fourth. Oh, just love them. This one might be my favorite. This is the 5th day. And this is the 6th day. I'm pretty sure that the 7th day is out. Maybe even the 8th. I don't know. It has been a year, I think, since I bought these. I think I bought them last summer. And then these were a gift this year from a friend. It's called A Time for All Seasons series from Cottage Garden, and I just showed those to you recently. So I'm not going to go through them because I'm almost at 45 minutes, and y'all know that's over what I try to do. And this is the last one. This was given to me by a friend. Lots and lots of y'all have stitched this. From Not Forgotten Farm, it's the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom, and I have not yet kitted it, but it's high on my list. She has hers framed like that. I believe it's not that kind of a frame, but she has it framed, and it's just adorable. Okay. That's, I don't know how many I showed you this time, but trust me, I have more than that on the shelf where I got these. I have all of them, all of my kitted or soon to be stitched, I don't know what I should call them, on a shelf in the room where I sit and watch television and stitch. 2 more things I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to be done. I told you I was going to show you a couple of things from fall. I pulled out some wool things, which I have shown you before. I love wool too. I stitched this in 2009. It's called Autumn Crew. And it came from, Wisconsin. Primitive Gatherings. Sweet, sweet picture. I usually put these either on a tabletop or on, I have a couple of ottomans at my house. These have not been ironed and they still have threads on them from being packed. And this is my pumpkin series. I didn't put a label on this one, so I don't know exactly what that is, what the name of it is. It's another one from Primitive Gatherings. I love their kits. They are perfect because all the fabrics are already chosen for you. And you do have to cut them out, but still having all the fabrics chosen and not having to buy a piece of every one of those colors is a wonderful way to do it. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed what you got to see. Next time when I come back from the attic, I will have some things to show you from there, the things that we are receiving from the designers, plus whatever I decide to buy, and stories to tell about friends I get to see. So I hope you come back and see me again. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful time stitching. Bye-bye.